In this video, we're going to share with you 8 of the most common bad money habits that hold people back from achieving their financial freedom and the lifestyle they've always dreamed about. Also, we will give you tips on how to break out of them. Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in and welcome back to your favorite channel where we bring you the best tips and tools to achieve financial freedom in just under 10 minutes. If this is your first time watching, kindly consider helping the channel grow by subscribing and giving this video a like should you find it helpful. So without any further ado, let's get rich. Number 1. Paying yourself last. I myself first heard of this in the book Rich Dad vs. Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and it's one of the blueprints in achieving financial freedom. Robert Kiyosaki explains that the way people pay their bills can be broken down into 2 types. The first way is poor people's habit, and that is through paying yourself last. So as soon as your paycheck comes in, then you pay rent, your phone bill, your subscriptions, you find your social plan, and then you'll save whatever left over if there's even any money left to save. The second method, however, he talks about, the rich people's habit, and they do the complete opposite. They pay themselves first, and that is what you need to do. Take 10% minimum and put that into your savings account the minute you get paid. Treat it like paying a bill. This is so important, and by doing this, you are guaranteeing that that money will be saved and won't just slip through your fingers through spending. A lot of people thinking there is no way I can do this, I live paycheck to paycheck. But the surprising thing is, when you take that 10% and put it away, your mind will think of ways and structure your spendings accordingly and structure your finances to last for the whole month. And you won't even realize that you are saving in the background. People don't realize how much they are spending on paying the bills, buying something new, going on that weekend away, and then they save whatever left. But that is the backward mentality. The key is to pay yourself first instead of making other people richer by buying their things before you pay yourself. Number 2 bad money habit is focusing purely on saving. If you want to improve your financial position, you can firstly save more of your existing income, or you can make more money and create more income streams. The ideal combination is a mixture of both. And by the way, if you want to learn how to make up to 6 figures a month on YouTube from home the lazy way, click the link in the description below. You can build wealth if you are making more money and spending it all, but you also can't if you are just focusing on the saving side, because there's a cap to how much you can save. Using those cashback sites will only get you so far. So to truly build wealth, you have to think of both sides of the equation. Both how you will save a larger percentage of your income, but also how to make more money. Saving money side has a cap. The money making side does not. It's infinite. There's unlimited potential, whether it's investing in the stock market, asking for a pay rise, or starting a YouTube channel, whatever. You want to break that bad money habit of thinking about saving money is going to massively increase your wealth, because it won't. Number 3 is not having a stockpile, aka emergency fund. This ties into point number 1, which is about paying yourself first. And essentially, it's saving enough so that you can have a buffer behind you of about 3 to 6 months. This is super important, and it will give you peace of mind just by having this buffer kept to one side and available to tap into if you need it. You free up that mental energy to designate to more important things. So how do you gather this 6 months of buffer? It's through that paying yourself first. Start putting 10% away, and once you have your stockpile, then you can start using the additional money you save to building into your investment fund. Number 4 bad money habit is having expensive hobbies. A lot of people like to shop and all. This is fine, but again, marketing and social media and these multi-billion-dollar corporations love to tell you how much money you need to spend on travel and needed accessories instead of keeping and investing in. Big media and advertising companies work to drive in consumerism. They understand how to play on the psychology or fear of missing out really well, where we are constantly bombarded with marketing messages about where we should be in our lives, what we should own, and then we receive messages on what we should wear and where we should be going on holiday. Try to avoid those situations or rein in those expensive pastime hobbies and replace them with other hobbies. And as this channel is about personal finance, we would recommend that if you want to spend loads of money, do it towards a skill or experiences or education, as nobody can take that away from you. Number 5 is not knowing your income and expenses properly. Until you know what your starting point is, how do you know where you want to be? There's something called lifestyle inflation, and that is your spending will rise as your income rises. The more money you make, the more you spend, and it's a cycle. You make more money, you buy a bigger house, buy a nicer car, and so on. Spend more money, make more money. But it's a recipe for disaster. You won't be in control for your finances and mapping out where the things are going. A budget tracker, however, is super important, and you want it to include how much you're making, how much you're paying yourself first, that 10% we spoke about earlier, your expenses, so your bills, your mortgage, your rent, your debt, and so on. And you want to be keeping on top of that budget tracker. At least every 3 months, set a date night with the tracker and revise. People who know exactly where they are financially, they know their assets, they know their liabilities, they have a clear goal in mind on where they want to go financially and all this. These kind of people who know all the steps they need to take to get there are more likely to get a lot of money and build a lot of wealth compared to people who just fantasize about money and have no idea how to go about it, how to plan to acquire it, or how to manage it. Just by being mindful of your stuff and seeing those numbers in black and white will trigger you into action. Number 6. Getting comfortable with bad debt. It seems that the debt these days is actually the norm. People are using debt to buy the smallest of things, to buy presents and other liabilities. You must have a strict rule that unless you can afford to pay for that thing outright in cash, you shouldn't be buying it with any form of debt. Remember, credit card companies want you to be bad with your finances because actually that's how they make money. The average credit card interest rate is about 22%, which cancels all kind of benefits and rewards these credit card companies are providing if you're not able to pay them off. Number 7. Paying too much in taxes. Taxes are going to be the single biggest expense in your life. Whilst everyone has to pay taxes, a lot of people just pay it without considering how you can legally reduce your bill. Legally is the key word here. The wealthy, they have knowledge of legal corporate structures that come with tax advantages. They hire tax advisors that help them minimize their tax bills. So if you want to get one step ahead, one of the best ways to increase your wealth is through understanding tax rules in a way that stack up in your favor. For example, investing through an ISA or a Roth IRA, which is an investment account that shelters your dividend or profit from taxes, or operating under a business instead of an individual. If you are a solo printer, the tax savings are incredible than if you were a company holder. And we'll go into these in another video, but all of this stuff is absolutely legal. And if you are someone who disagrees with this and prefers to pay taxes regardless of whether or not you can reduce it legally, then it doesn't hurt to understand the tax rules and reduce that tax bill so that you can instead use that money to give back to things that directly align with your values instead of letting someone else decide where that money should be going. We will soon be making another video about taxes and how to pay less in taxes. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out. Last but not least, number 8. Waiting too long to invest. When you start having savings, you have that stockpile, the buffer that we spoke about earlier, then you want to start looking at investing that money so that your money starts working for you. And you want to diversify those investments to minimize the risks. But also you want to avoid leaving that money in the bank account because inflation is a thing actually, and it means that you are essentially losing money every year. Start looking at different investment strategies once you have saved up enough. Don't leave any additional money more than you need to in a bank account. There's always going to be reasons why you can't invest because you don't have time, you don't have enough money, or you don't know where to start. But the longer you put off investing, the harder you will have to work to get that same level of financial freedom as someone who starts investing earlier. Alright, that's all what we have for you today, future billionaires. Thank you for watching, and as usual, get up, get out, and go get rich.